There's definitely some huge opportunities there, and I think that is an area where a lot of people still, I don't think there's enough attention focused in on those e-commerce sites. I know, having chatted with you with some of the clients and niches that you've gone after, it's astounding to hear some of the results you can get. What seems like, quite an obscure niche, but you can dig incredibly deeply into that niche.
And, to be honest, I mean, while we're on the topic, if I was to pick where, and you have to start somewhere always, so don't, if you can't get into, e-commerce, don't get discouraged. Build up whatever you can to get to the point where you have the connections, you have the context and the confidence to get into any industry you want. But for me, if I was to hedge where we do place our bets, so to speak, online now, it is in e-commerce, lead generation, and high-level affiliates or industries with a lot of traffic, and usually on an authority site basis.
Yeah, that right there is like, yep. Talk about going full circle, and we go all the way back to where we were talking about planning out and mapping out the domain name and the keywords you're going to go after and getting that structure right. That goes full circle, and I think if you go into any one of those three areas, the e-commerce, lead generation, or any sort of high-level affiliate stuff, you're going to position yourself to succeed. So I suppose this is sort of perfect time to sort of lead out towards the end of the call. Just interested to find out, I know you're definitely one of the guys I listen to when it comes to SEO. I'm curious to know who you listen to in the SEO world when you're sort of keeping a pulse on what's going on.
That's a really good question, mate.
Thought I'd stump you right at the end there.
Yep.
David Jennings from the SEOmethod.com.
That's the one. That's the one. Thanks for reminding me of the name. Absolutely. Look, you know what? I don't have anybody I follow anymore.
Wow, you are the go-to guy.
I base my learning off results. Now, once you, and this is about everything I do, I am always building a resource. I'm building it for the resource. I'm not necessarily building it for the initial input. For example, my entire SEO company is not based around offering an SEO service. I am not an SEO company. I'm a media company. Our SEO company is actually more like a lead generation company that we get paid an exceptional amount from businesses that need our services, but it's a lead generation company to find businesses that, number one, are serious, number two, have a good back end and product offering, and then basically out of that few select, we'll find a certain amount of companies that want to strike equity deals with us, and they want us to become their front end marketing arm. And that's where we drive a lot of power from. Now, how it gets to that is because once we have SEO, like our SEO company is just a really neat way to get paid for building a resource. So as I build up more and more clients, and I can look across, 120 websites at any point because I'm a tracking freak. Like, we track every link built, the time it was built, the site it was built to, the anchor text it was built, where it's coming from, all of that is built so I can see an exact snapshot of when that happened. So by having the resource and owning the resource, I can do analysis on exactly what's happening in an industry at any second because I can see what's happening. I don't even have to hazard a guess to it. So, I see what comes around. The one thing I read religiously is called SE News or something like that. I can't even remember the name of it. It comes into my mailbox and it was recommended to me by searchenginenews.com.
Yep.
Other than of course you, Dave.
Do you have any other people that you sort of even admire, not necessarily follow, who you just respect what it is that they do in SEO? Wow, I'm asking the tough questions, aren't I? You
are. Look, I mean, I've learned from a lot of people. If you talk about admire, respect, and look to now, it's a different question from people who I learnt from. So it depends what the actual question there is. Look, there's plenty of SEO smarts in the industry. My memory, sorry, man.
No, that's all good. That's all good.
You know that, but to put it quite simply, a long time ago I took myself out of the game of chasing and following and put myself into the game of actioning and doing. And when I started to do that, it's quite funny how quickly your results start to change. But it also means I lost a little bit of touch with that side of the industry. There's always like your Leslie Rhodes and your Dan Theus, who can always give Dan Theus, there we go. Yeah. SEO Fast Start. It's one of the best starting bases, right? And I say starting because it'll just give you a nice solid overview for it. It won't give you the motivation and the in-depth content that we're talking about now and that you have in your course and all the rest of that. But as far as what he can do, he's really good at what he does. Leslie Rhodes, I think, is really good from the technical point of view. So there are individuals like that I can look at from a specific point of view. But to be honest, I'm getting a lot more from the conversion industry now than I am from the SEO industry, because there's only so much you can take. There's only a certain level you can take SEO to, right? And once you get to a level where you can dominate any industry and have it on an automated process, well, who do I look up to?
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm at the top by far. I still learn all the time with it, but it then becomes you gain and drive knowledge from looking back on how plans have gone and how results have been achieved. And by analysing that, that's where you get information from. That's where you can find out from.
Very
I do like anything from SEO Moz, anything to do with like viral link baiting. Love that shit.
Yeah.
That's to me, that's like an awesome use of resource. So anywhere I can find stuff like that, I don't have a specific anyone, but I know that I usually get a lot of that from SEO Moz. Like I said, searchenginenews.com is enough to keep me up to date with just search engine changes, not so much as tactics and things like that, but more about what's changing in the industry, what's news, what's not, what's happening. And they have some nice resources there as well. But
cool.
When it comes down to tax and tips, it all happens in calls like these, mate.
Yeah.
Once you get to a certain level, you'll start meeting people in your industry, you'll start meeting others, you'll start discussing what's working, what's not, and analysing your own results.
Well, you're definitely someone to watch. If people want to find out more about the AMA service, they can head over to theseomethod.com/AMA. If they want to find out more about you, Mark, where shall they go to find you?
I'm like a black ninja.
Just never know when he's going to strike.
No, just shit. Nah, look, if you've got a profile in there somewhere, link somewhere, you can go to ltseo.com.au. That's our corporate level site. We're doing a lot of changes at the moment to how we do our more internet marketing sort of things. As you know, Dave, we're making quite a few changes, so perhaps I'll give you a link when we actually get that sorted out, and I'll give you a place that people can go to that will be more in line with how we do things now.
Very cool. All right. I'd like to thank you very much for your time. I do appreciate every time we get on the line, and I know anyone who listens to this call is going to have got a lot of value from it. So thank you. I do very much appreciate it.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks for having me. It's been fun.